Hey there everybody, I'm Jack Barnwell up here on Mackinac Island at the site of Brigadoon Cottage, an iconic, absolute masterpiece of Queen Anne Victorian architecture here on Mackinac Island. As many of you know from past videos and stuff, almost 1 year ago, Brigadoon caught fire and had a completely devastating fire up in the attic. It was a chimney fire. The whole entire roof and third story burned completely, and the entire house was just absolutely saturated from all the water damage and everything from putting the fire out. Fortunately, they were able to save the house. It has been an incredible undertaking, a major team effort to bring Brigadoon back to life. It's been a monumental task. It's almost been a year and Brigadoon is almost complete. So today we're gonna go through and show you through the whole entire landscape restoration and renovation that my team and I are involved in and obviously designing and implementing. We'll also be showing you a lot about the incredible historic restoration and magical construction and carpentry work that's been happening inside. And soon we'll have a full tour of the home completed and everything. You will not believe the work that's been done. So I'll take you through the magic of what we're about to create in the landscape and show you through what we got going on here today. Let's dive in. All right, so like I said, about a year ago, Brigadoon caught fire, and tragically, the entire house had to be gutted, all electrical, all plumbing, everything out. Most of the original framing was able to be saved, at least on the first and second floor, but a huge amount of work went into rebuilding the third floor, the entire roof system, all the new plumbing, electrical, mechanicals, everything. All the furniture had to get taken out, all the, the linens and clothing and everything taken out and, and cleaned and restored and redone, and unbelievable undertaking here. But in the process of all of this reconstruction, they had some really large scale equipment here on site, some cranes and big huge lifts and stuff. So the entire yard and landscape really got destroyed. It was a real wet fall, and the big deep tires and deep ruts were just ripping everything apart, and which is inevitable with a project of this scale and everything. So we are now in the process of regrading, cleaning, shaping everything up, and putting in an entirely new irrigation system, an entirely new lighting system, and reimagining all of the landscape. However, there are places where we are saving and nurturing a lot of the original plants. So these peonies here are original to the house. They're well over 100 years old, and they've been divided and moved around, but this bank of peonies right here has always been so iconically beautiful. So we're saving these. We kind of stuffed them over here in the corner so they wouldn't be in the way of the big project. And we're gonna divide them up and move them around and use them. And so that's something that's been really special and near and dear to my heart, is saving as much as we possibly could when there was so much destruction. But this side of the yard where we're walking now, as you can see, we've got all these little whips sticking up. This is called funny pipe. That signals, and the flags and the different colors, those are different zones and different elements of the irrigation system that has already been put in. We still have to grade and rake and get this all fine-tuned, but this side is getting fairly close and ready for landscape plantings to go in and the sod to go in. So my goal is to try to get the front two sections done first, so that we can have it all cleaned up, flowers in, sod in, and everything, even if we're still working on major construction and things in the back. We want to really get the front dressed up and dolled up so that the home looks good for this summer season. The front walkway there, where it used to be this old kind of speckled flagstone set in concrete. All of that got completely destroyed during construction and all of this work that's been going on. So we tore all that out, and we're redoing all the entire walkways and all the hardscaping around the house with a totally new concept in this beautiful tumbled sand molded brick with a tumbled bluestone border that's gonna be really, really pretty and pick up on a lot of the blues in the granite and a lot of the stonework around the foundation of the house. It's gonna be absolutely stunning. All that brick is showing up later this week. So we'll be getting this front walkway and everything in, again, with the goal of having the front cleaned up and tuned up and looking good ASAP. These curtains here are just up from winter protection, but they're leaving them up a little bit longer just so they have a nice work site inside there to have all the saws going and everything, but all that stuff's coming down because, believe it or not, the inside of the house is nearly complete. They're about a week or so or less from being done inside, like furniture setup, clean, everything, which is incredible that it's been less than a year and the whole thing has been totally reimagined. This is where we got a lot of irrigation coming out here. We got an 1.25 inch, 1.25 inch main line coming out to feed everything. Valve manifolds and stuff all over the place are being put in and set up. None of this stuff has been wired or anything. You can see back here we still have a complete bomb site going on. And as you can see, the Mackinac Island digging is not exactly fun. So trenching through some of these trenches is an absolute bear. Ripping through with a trencher and then by hand to get all the big boulders out and get all these trenches cleaned up so we can get deep enough and then protect all these pipes nice and down deep in the ground. It's a little bit of a challenge, no doubt, but we're getting through it. We've got a lot of trenching roughed in so far for the back here, but we still have the whole side and all the way out the other front side to get done, which really shouldn't take us more than another day or so, a day or two of trenching, get all that pipe in, and then it won't look so much like a bomb site. We'll be able to get this all regraded, re-raked, cleaned up, tilled up, turned up. I know it looks really, really rough right now, but believe it or not, I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know, once we get the irrigation in, we can get this all graded and cleaned, then we'll be able to lay sod, and sod makes it look green and clean really, really quickly. During the course of the construction, the hedges on the side, these big, beautiful, beautiful pyramid arborvitae hedges had to get ripped out to allow for some equipment access. And tragically, you know, we lost some really, really big, beautiful hedges. So we're putting in new ones. And we're putting in some monsters. Some of these big guys are up to 14, 15 feet tall going in. Really, really big, beautiful trees. And all these just showed up. There's about 40 of them. As you can see, they are really, really tall. I would say 12, 14 feet tall on some of these biggest ones for sure. And up the side of the property here where the yacht club is, our neighbor, which are great neighbors, but nothing like a really beautiful, nice green hedge to clean that edge up. Those are gonna be going in today. So we've got my trusty gem of a girl, my ditch witch, my sweet Gemma. The SK800, I love this tool. Did I say toy? I meant tool. But I've got thousands of hours on this bad daddy, and I know what she can do, and I know that she'll be able to lift these and finesse them into place. We'll be starting with all the biggest ones down at the bottom of the hill there and kind of working our way up to really create that nice screening along the property line there. As we do so, we'll pick these up, get them into position or get them close, then we'll cut all this metal off, cut and open up the burlap, let the tree, you know, breathe a little bit, let those roots, especially those shallower lateral roots, we'll make sure that they're ready to just engage and get into that fresh, beautiful soil that we have here, ready for them. And then we'll backfill with native soil, a little bit of compost, some fertilizers and stuff, and then we'll be putting drip irrigation on these. So we'll get them off to a really good start and make sure they're super, super healthy for the long run. As you can see, there's kind of trees all over the place, so I really want to get these in today so that they're out of the way, so that we can finish up with the trenching and get this site cleaned up a little bit further along. There's still, you know, we're working around so many different crews and contractors. There's guys coming and going and everywhere, so it's kind of a real ballet working around these different guys, trying to make sure that everybody gets along and everybody's got their space and place to do work. But as soon as we can get a few more of these guys out of our way here in the next couple days, we'll be tearing up all this old flagstone. There used to be an old stone walkway that went around the house here and under the porte-cochere where they pull up in their carriages and everything there. All of this is getting tore out because it got so destroyed and crumbled and just really roughed up during all this construction. But it was really old, and I've been actually wanting to get rid of it for quite a few years. I've been working on this property probably 12, 13 years or something, taking care of it lovingly. And I've had some ideas that I wanted to do anyway, so this is kind of a cool opportunity where I get to really dive in with my, you know, design mind, and the clients are just really giving me the reins to make this an absolutely amazing, beautiful space again. So we're gonna tear that all up and redo it in this new hardscape theme that we're doing for that front walkway. The whole driveway, this whole hedge, all the beds and all this landscaping, all the flowers, all this stuff, I'm trying to make this all happen over the next 2 to 3 weeks. Believe it or not, it's gonna be a major push, but I think we can do it. We'll get the hedges in and everything today, get the irrigation finished up in the next few days, and really start turning the corner. So we'll get some more film a little later today as we get these hedges in and stuff like that, and we'll show you guys through a few other elements of what we're doing and why. We are gonna get this property back into its unbelievable form here soon. The owners are planning on bringing horses up here, having carriages rolling through this property again this summer. So it won't be long, and it'll be back to our absolute grandeur and charm. Brigadoon Cottage here on Mackinac Island. So stay tuned. We'll catch up with you guys a little later today. Should mark this moment. We should do something like plant a tree. All right, guys, so we are back here at Brigadoon. It is a little after 4 o'clock, and it's been one of those Mackinac days. We've been running all over, and mostly here though today. We have made some good progress, but I had to jump around to some other jobs and stuff like that. The phone is always ringing, of course. But progress is going pretty well here on this job. We did get a good run on this hedge on the side here in. These huge pyramidal arborvitaes are looking sweet. We'll get them all on drip irrigation, get them well amended, super nice and fertilized with some hollytone. Milorganite is a nice little cocktail I like to use on these arbs and really feed them heavy and soak the heck out of them. So my goal today, I'd like to get the whole front walkway all graded and get all that gravel smoothed out nice, get this front all graded and cleaned up, clean up all of our debris from planting, you know, all this stuff, build a little rock wall with those and tune this all up. We do have all of this junk and garbage to get rid of, which is great. This is beautiful garbage because this is all the wire cages from all the trees. And for all of you landscapers and guys out there, this is definitely the way to do it. I know that there's some people that are still kind of old school, and we all used to leave the cages on trees and stuff, but that has become known as not the way to do it. It really leads to a little too much root girdling and stuff like that. For the long term of the tree, they're much better, much happier outside of their cages. So set them free, get rid of the metal, cut it off before you put them in the ground. It's the way to go. So we got to get rid of all that, get this cleaned up. But pretty happy with the way these are all looking, and really makes for an instant, nice, big privacy screen here on the side of Brigadoon. At this point here, we are gonna start to shift down into these a little bit smaller arborvitaes. We're gonna start to stagger them in and integrate some birch, amelanchier, lilac, some other kind of lower canopy trees to sort of integrate into and blend into the theme of the back landscape and what that all looks like from the formal, real Victorian grandeur of the front. So the front has all the color and the pizzazz and the show, and it really will be quite stunning. And then the back loosens up a little bit as we go toward the barn and the horse paddock and everything like that, and it's gonna be a real gorgeous setting back there as well. So looking forward to getting this one tuned up and turned into the magical place that it used to be, and it's gonna be even more stunning this time around. So it's a tragedy that it had to happen, but it's kind of a blessing too, because we're gonna make it even better. So if you aren't already, be sure to subscribe, click that bell so you can see updates on this project and many more as we keep them coming your way on your favorite channel. So we'll see you guys all in the next episode. Cheers.